Like we can't say we're live, but we're recording. And oh shit, dude. Oh
Here we
boy,
are.
we're doing Justified episode 5. You know, this episode is called "You Good?" And boy,
No,
I'm not good.
no,
I'm not
no.
good.
You are you are. Hey, Chris, are you good? Are you good?
I'm not sober right now. That's how bad I just got back from doing drunken karaoke just to prepare for this stream. Like,
This is man. If there was anybody on the fence up to this point with this show, they have left the building. And I'm not gonna lie, this almost made me stop watching the show. But I mean, I had 3 episodes left, or however many, you know. Yeah.
Well, it's funny that we've had differences of opinions with people, and I know when this airs, he's going to see this. But our good old buddy RR, he texts me. He's like, "Did you watch it?" I was like, "I got busy, and Wes was doing stuff." And he's like, after everything he said, I'm like, "Yeah, I can't argue with his statements."
Yeah. It started off, and I caught it last night, like at 4 or 5 in the morning, or so I guess this morning. You know, right away, because Hulu has that thing where it tells you what's, you know, and it just said strong language and nothing else. So I was like, oh, that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. This is going to be an exposition heavy, dialogue heavy episode.
Yeah.
And you know, Raylan, my boy, what have they done to you? What have they done to you?
It's a Godfather.
I can't even.
My boy.
My boy, they've massacred my boy.
Yeah,
I said in the Ninja Turtle stream that the Lord of Toxicity loves to be right, but I hated that I was right about this. So we start off, and it's the morning after, and he's banged out Carolyn. The
fact you said this shit last week too.
I did.
It's like Chris. I'm like, oh man. So yeah, like I was in deniability because I first start the episode because recap we're on 2 minutes in, and Raylan wakes up. He's in a bed. You know what? Maybe he's in a hotel room. Maybe he's in someone else's bed. Maybe he's anywhere else but here.
I thought maybe he got drunk and she just let him sleep it off, but then
I told myself that I was trying to find every excuse I could think of.
No, please don't do it. Yeah. And then on top of that, they make it seem like, I mean, dude, I don't like everybody comparing this show to Justified because it's 2 very different entities. But I'm going to tell you that on this particular topic, dude, Raylan was nailing some baddies. He was with some baddies on Justified.
Slinging Dick Raylan, man. Come on.
And this, like, I don't have a particular problem with her, except, like, she's not attractive. She is built like Grimace, and she is just, I mean, she's got a fupa, and she is just not, like, she's got small boobs and a big gut. And you know, I don't know. She's a fine actress. I don't have any problem. I believe her in her role, but them playing kissy face.
Yeah,
that I was getting Rick and Michonne vibes from The Walking Dead.
And not to mention, like, I mean, I'm looking at right now. Raylan, we're 2 minutes in 30 seconds. He's talking to her, and she's in the bathroom, and he's got his shirt off, and Oliver is pushing 60. And the fucker, he's more ripped than I am. Like, holy Christ.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The dude takes fucking, and he's not like Jack, but the dude, that motherfucker, this is one shirtless.
Yeah.
Scene. Yeah.
He's just as ripped as he was back when he did that movie Go back in 99.
Yeah.
You know, he has like no body fat. It's creepy. But yeah, man, it's just, right off the bat, I was like, this is the episode. And then the whole thing was a slug, which sucks because there was a lot of good exposition, a lot of interesting characters were introduced. We finally got to see Raymond Cruz. I'm jumping ahead a little bit here. We finally got, we're gonna make, just so you know, folks, we're making this one a quick one because this is just this is terrible. This episode is terrible.
I'm not gonna lie, I could probably do a half hour about the fact that Raylan fucked Carolyn.
I want to move past it and just bury it down deep.
I'll say one thing before we move on, is just because this happens as we get more subscribers and stuff. People would say, the naysayers, oh, it's because it's a racial thing. Like, dude, if he was fucking Halle Berry or Kerry Washington, like,
hell, if he was banging the chick that played that played the black female marshal on Justified, that would be
There you
fine.
go. Yeah, it's
Who always said she had a little crush
Trust me.
on him.
Yeah, because if Carolyn was played by freaking Amy Schumer, I'd be just as offended. So don't try
I
to.
mean, it's just
No.
she's like,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
this was tough to watch. And then on top of that, we have the whole jealousy, new
Ex-husband.
boyfriend. Yeah, the
Yeah.
ex-husband rocks up to the house, and it's stupid.
Yeah.
It was just pointless and stupid, and I don't care. I'm like, please, let's get to Mansell and Sweetie.
Yeah.
Can we please get to them?
People would say, "Are you guys that shallow?" Yes, I am. I am definitely shallow. I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
All right. So yeah, let's get off that shit now because I'm depressed. But all right.
please.
So yeah, so we get Mansell and Sweetie. They're in a diner and talking about they want to start testing out the judge's book.
Yeah.
So,
The Great MacGuffin, the Judge's Blackmail book. And sort of, again, I'm right in the context of, the criminal mastermind, I guess, is Mansell. He knows it's a money-making tool, and he's not wrong. But Sweetie knows the town. Like he knows pretty much everybody that's in the book. So, and he's got his own designs on it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we cut back to one last time. Raylan had to go out for coffee, came back, and 8 minutes, 30 seconds in, boy, he's locking lips with Carolyn.
Oh,
this is a painful scene to watch.
Just no chemistry at all. Yeah. I mean, it's tough to look at. The only thing I can think of is that they're building up some sort of personal relationship just so that, like, if she's going to get murdered later in the story, that, he can be mad about it. That's the only thing I can think of, And again, I it's not that I don't have sympathy for her character and her character's plight. I just don't care enough. Like, I want to get to the main crux of the story. I don't care about her divorce problems and the IRS lien, and I just don't care.
It's like you said too, and the thing is, it's like at least if there was a chemistry between those two, you could even say like, well, maybe she's not as attractive, but there's a chemistry there, and that's like, no, this is so fucking forced.
I'm on my Justified rewatch right now, and I'm season 5, and they have his little fling with the social worker played by Amy Smart. And I never really found Amy Smart to be that attractive. She's cute, I guess, but she's kind of rough looking in the face. And but even that, there was at least some chemistry, and it was kind of sexy. Like, this is just gross. This chick is just gross. Yeah. So yeah, man, she does not look good. I don't find anything about her attractive. So, I don't know, man. But anyway, let's please move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on from this.
Yeah. So now we get to the scene back. Raylan, he's in the police station, and I forget whose ads are pissing me off, but yeah, they're talking. He's talking to his new partner about the police chief is pissed off right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch up on here. And
they basically handed the investigation over to the red-haired female detective.
Yeah, and they're not happy about that. So
yeah,
one little bit. And back to Carolyn is talking to it's like this gay dude. I'm not sure who he is.
The young lover of Sweetie's young lover.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. And she talks about she's like, not play with Mansell in that book. And she's talking about a certain piece of metal that could change everything, which is the gun.
Yeah. So the gun is the other MacGuffin in the show. And we're starting to see some, how is this going to come into play? Because, we still got the main murder weapon is floating around.
Yeah. So Raylan's back talking about the Hardy Boys and the judge, and he's like, the judge was kind of showboating his fucking book of payoffs and stuff, and he's just being so careless about it and shit. So
yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about Raylan being this ace detective now, where in the past he's always been just a manhunter and a gunman.
Yeah,
and now he's some sort of low rent redneck Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying Raylan's ever been stupid per se, but I just again, this is what happens when you switch out the narrative with the character and replace, because the Raymond Cruz character was, and I'll speak more on that as when we get to his part in the
Yeah.
story. He was a detective,
Yeah.
not a shooter per se.
Yeah.
Raylan was always basically just a shooter.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. Yeah, so let's see. We'll get up Mansell and Sweetie. So they're trying. I love David Cross as an actor because he's just fucking hilarious. But he doesn't really play a lot of dramas, and it's interesting seeing David Cross play a role like this.
I really believed him though in this role.
Oh yeah,
I thought he brought something pretty good to it. He was very very believable. I like seeing him.
yeah,
I don't think we'll see him again, but it was enjoyable to have him pop up in there. He, like the long list of, Justified has a long history of using comedic actors as either dramatic heavies or villains in some kind of scoundrel
yeah,
or something like that. So and they're keeping it up by using
yeah,
David Cross. I like that. I liked it.
yeah. So we're out for the first time. So now freaking Sweetie and Mansell, they want to test this book out. They want to see how legit it is, and they got their first victim. So,
But got lowballed.
yeah. Well, that was a very interesting scene right there, which I liked. That well, forget that Raylan's come back to his partner, and let's see, like he says, Raylan's like he tells him he's drinking a shake, and he's like, "I'm gonna wash my hands of it, go home and see my kid," because Raylan's getting, you can tell, frustrated and shit, and he kind of like doesn't want to be here anymore, and he feels like Mansell, he's just like he wants to be done with this stuff. Like he's like
Yeah,
Clement's not the Christ Almighty, the Zodiac killer.
right. He's definitely not. He hasn't quite. I think, and again, so we're setting something up. I think Mansell's going to wind up either killing Carolyn or the partner,
Yeah.
one or the other. Something that can get Raylan motivated, because at this point now it's just like, what am I even doing here?
Yeah, and that's the thing, and I think Raylan too. He's getting frustrated by how fucking corrupt things are. Because he's like, yeah, this guy Mansell, for him, he's like, he's not stupid, but he's also not that good. And it's like, how does this guy keep getting away with all this shit and nothing's happening to him? Guys killing judges and stuff, and
I mean, yeah, he walked away from a quadruple homicide,
yeah,
in the earlier narrative of the story. So yeah, it is interesting. It's kind of touched on in the book a little bit that Mansell's just one of those stupid lucky people,
yeah,
or lucky stupid people, depending on how you look at it.
yeah,
So I am digging the back and forth banter between Raylan's partner in the Detroit PD.
yeah,
I like him a lot. Again, I like I said in earlier episodes, I liked him. I like the actor. I think he does a good job.
yeah,
He's believable. He doesn't, grate my teeth the way the other guy Brill did.
yeah,
This guy's just kind of laid back. One of those cops that you see that's just like doing his 20 or his 30
yeah,
and wants to get out of there, and he'll do a good job, but he's not bending over backwards. He's not doing any kind of crazy vigilante shit or anything like that. And he's kind of a pretty good foil for Raylan.
yeah.
So I'm liking it.
Definitely one of the actors where the guy, I mean, this one episodes where it's the guy's working with the material he's given. He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we're back to friggin' Mansell and Sweetie about to do their whole like this was a good scene because it pays off later on, but it's kind of like how friggin' they're negotiating, 30,000, 10,000, 7,000, and fucking Mansell.
Why do you think Sweetie was so anxious to take a lowball offer and get out of there?
I'm honestly not sure. I mean, because it's like it's weird because like they know you got the guy by the balls, and you could basically demand anything. And I was curious that myself. It's because it's like Mansell was kind of like reeling in, and I'm like I didn't. It's like I was thinking that myself. Like if I'm gonna do this kind of thing, it's the criminal thing where go big or go home. It's like you don't fucking
Yeah, 10,000 is nothing. So I don't know.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool where for Mansell staring at that fucking that picture. Now, Sweetie's tries saying like, well, he's like I just wanted to test this and see if the book actually worked, but still, I mean, you could have got fucking more than 10 grand, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that.
Yeah, I think maybe just part of him, maybe he's just fucking scared of Mansell being a wild card or something, or I'll get myself, but. Oh boy, so let's see. Yeah, so Mansell freaking sends Carolyn some flowers. Okay.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, and then Raylan, he insists he wants to take her out to dinner, and boy, this like you said, this upcoming scene with friggin' Raylan, and so he's still trying to find out who this guy is because this guy won't tell Raylan who he is, and it's kind of funny talking about he's still playing the race card and shit, which I'm not mad because it's fucking Detroit. That's how a guy like this probably would see Raylan, you know. And,
No, that's fine. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. And I kind of thought it was kind of clever how, he's like, "Do you tell this guy I have a black belt?" And Raylan pulls his pant or his jacket part back to show his belt. He's with a U.S. Marshal star. He's like, "Yeah, I got one too."
Yeah, it's funny how she's just like at one point she's mad at Raylan and this guy for interrupting her dinner. It's like, well, Raylan didn't ask her ex-husband to come crash the fucking party, but
exactly.
Yeah, so that was a very weird scene and shit. So finally, yeah, and of course we get back to Mansell, and he's just back in goddamn tidy white. He's doing like,
yeah, they sure don't get tired of showing us him in his tidy whities, do they?
Oh, it's so yeah, just sitting there fucking smoking weed, and his I keep forgetting her name there. His girl's just like, "Oh, honey, baby, you're stoned," and it's like she's breaking. He's talking about the book being like this ATM because she's like, "Oh, we got 10 grand and stuff." He's like, "Yeah, we can get a lot more." And he's telling her, "I want to keep fucking milking this thing for all it's worth." He's like, "We can get stacks and stacks and fucking suitcase full of cash. We're just starting out." So, but yeah, it's weird scene when he talk about he's full of shit and okay, he's like he had this like talk about his singing voice. I'm like, I didn't. It was a weird scene.
Yeah.
So, but like you said,
I really thought I was like sitting there anxiously, like telling her, I'm like, just lie to him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really weird that she, as scared of him as she is, she decided to go that route. Hell, I would have lied to him.
Yeah.
She gives him the whole, well, what's important is that you like your voice.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus, you're right. Because he kind of had murder on his face as soon as she said that. I was like, man, you really that was not a smart fucking move there. I'm really kind of wondering what her end game is.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with her?
Yeah. Boy, now we're at the next part, which is I agree with because even our buddy Archie said this about her screen time. Because Jesus, when you break down screen time, I don't have time to break down this entire fucking episode, but it definitely Carolyn has the most screen time in this episode.
Yes,
but
this is like a Carolyn centric episode. The only, and the whole scene of her confronting the ex-husband, and I mean, I'm like, man, it reminded me of being back in the joint on nights when Empire would come on, and the black inmates would make us have to watch Empire.
Yeah,
and I'm like that sort of bounce. Fucking drama TV bullshit. Like, I just don't care. I don't care about any of that stuff. And man, she got so much freaking screen time this episode.
Yeah. I mean, which weird is like this entire scene. So yeah, basically she shows up at her ex-husband's apartment, and of course she's just a whole like begging and pleading with her, and I love you, and she finds out he's still fucking other chicks. But yeah, this entire sequence, what's weird is it's 6 minutes long, and even skimming through it now, it feels like a half hour.
Yeah, it felt like the entirety of the show. I'm just like, look, I don't care.
Yeah,
I really don't care.
And like you said, the thing is, it felt like one of the scenes where it doesn't belong in a show like Justified, like that. It just felt so out of place.
No, it was just really just pointless and stupid, and I was not impressed with it.
It's like you said, it's like if this was in like a different show like Empire or something, or if that's your kind of thing, but Justified, and like you're saying, I get that. It's weird. It's not Justified. It is Justified City Primeval, but it's still like it's
right. Yeah. Great, and up to this point, I've been the biggest defender of that, going, hey, it's a different story. Raylan was never supposed to be in it in the first place. You can't go into it expecting Justified, but I got to tell you, man, this was the episode where I was just like, man, I am not. And there's just even the couple redeeming parts are not. They're just not. I don't know, man. Sweetie had a couple good lines. He had a couple good scenes. I really did dig the scene where he was sitting there reminiscing about jamming with Miles Davis and stuff like that. I did really like that. That's a great Elmore. That is textbook Elmore and Leonard right there. Yeah. That's some excellent stuff. I don't remember if that was in the book or not, but it was definitely like it I could catch a big whiff of Elmore Leonard. They're, just two criminals, one definitely a psychopath,
Yeah.
and the other one just a marginalized homosexual criminal talking about
Yeah.
his good old days, and it's just like you got a psycho like Mansell hanging on every word.
Yeah. And you know the scary part, because I know it's like people that if you have like Hulu without ads, but I have Hulu with ads because I'm not on it that much. Now
So do I.
Hulu breaks up sections, right? Like, okay, section one, it's like 10 minutes commercial, then it goes
Yeah.
10 minutes commercial. So I'm looking at
Yeah.
Hulu right now. It's got 6 different sections because it's a
Yeah.
50-minute episode. And truly in every section, it's Carolyn, she's in every single section.
Every
Yeah.
single one. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Jesus. They
They're-
really Carolyn Dust to dead. The only saving grace I could say in that is that maybe they gave her so much to do in this episode because they're fixing to kill her off in the next one. I mean,
Yeah.
you definitely have some foreboding with the Albanians following her around.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a pretty good scene, which I this part I did like, though, to get the episode credit, like you said, that Mansell shows up at the guy's fucking house and takes the painting. That's like
Yeah.
that, and that's what I would have expected, because he was so tame with fucking Sweetie. I'm like, you know what, it made sense for his character, like that paid off.
Yeah.
That fucking
That's a Mansell thing to do right there.
no, yeah. So now fucking Carolyn shows up to Sweetie's bar, and then just a whole here it comes. Now she's gonna show how corrupt she is, because I'm broke and I take care of everybody, and I just want to see the fucking book. And she looks at the book real quick, and like he says to her, this is our pouch of diamonds. And yeah, he's like you said, from his aspect, it's like it's not about the money, because if she becomes some kind of big time judge or high paying judge, that who doesn't want a judge in their pocket?
Oh yeah, for sure. This chick that he kind of semi-raised being a judge and him helping her get to power. I mean, dude, he'd be unstoppable.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even have that, he's older, getting on, and he probably just wants to be able to, run his bar, sell some weed, and stay out of the, because an old criminal like that, he doesn't want to be that old guy in the joint that ain't never getting out again.
Yeah.
So, having a judge, I mean, it's already helped him out immensely to have a lawyer like her. Yep. Imagine having a judge like her that, in his corner. So yeah, for him, it's win-win.
And what's scary part is me, she says that, her exact words were, the whole city's in this book. So like that judge knew some shit, man. Like, how much is in this book that we don't know about? But she's like the whole fucking city. So
yeah.
Of course, Raylan is texting his daughter. She's so pissed at daddy. And then this, to this credit, there's a pretty good scene with Raylan. He's talking to Raymond, and he was the arresting officer with fucking for Mansell.
This is both a good scene and a bad scene, and I'm going to tell you why. It's a good scene because it's well acted. We get to bring in that great character actor who actually played Raymond Cruz in Out of Sight, another Elmore Leonard movie.
Yeah.
And he was originally the main character of the novel this is based on, City Primeval. So that's good. That's good. And he does a good job here, and I have no complaints. He's always good. However, the way that he comes across, given Raylan the advice that he gives him, and I'll let you explain that, but the advice that he gives him, the cynical, take no prisoners type advice, that is not Raymond Cruz's character. That's what Raymond Cruz would have eventually become had he gone down a certain path in the novel City Primeval. But that never comes to fruition. And so it's kind of a cheat, isn't it? It's sort of like, we never really got to that. Now, again, I know not everybody's read the book. I get it. But, for me who has, I'm looking at this character, and it's like, this flash forward 30 years. And now he's, this cynical guy going, well, if I got to kill him and it's just because he has a church key in his hand, then fuck it. That's what I'm going to do. So, and this is the kind of advice that he's given to Raylan. And then I also kind of don't like it because he's like telling Raylan to figure out a way to corner the guy and have a justified gunfight with him, as if he needs to tell Raylan Givens that. Like that was Raylan Givens' whole MO throughout the entire of Justified. So it's just like, what is he trying to convince him of here? That's Raylan's go-to move.
Yeah, it's just
So
interesting scene because he's telling me, he's like, yeah, he's like, man, so fucking, he's like, he killed 4 of them, and the 5th one put a finger on him, and the guy's like, yeah, he's like, the system's got flaws, and just this whole, like what Raylan said, Raylan's like, why do I feel like I can't trust anybody around here? You know?
yeah,
And but
yeah,
yeah, he said at the end though, Raymond, he just gives him basically the advice of like, he just like what he says to him about you're old and shit. He's like, you look like the kind of guy. He's like, look at you, still giving a fuck, but you're old. So
yeah. That's an interesting way to describe him. Sort of a flip side to how Mansell described him in either episode 1 or episode 2, where he said, you're too old to not be in the. So you either got passed over for the big chair, or you decided to stay out on the street, running and gunning.
Well, it's kind of weird, like how Raylan says he's like, I have to end this because I can't sleep at night. And of course, Raymond gives him the whole speech about, said the church guy and the guy tangled with, and he goes, I sleep at night just fine.
Yeah.
So it's
I don't know. Like I said, it's a well acted scene. I enjoyed it. So you have 2 really good. I mean, it's a dialogue heavy episode. Nothing really happens in it. There's some exposition. The plot moves along kind of more meanders than anything else. Way too much Carolyn. You get 2 really, really excellent scenes with Mansell and Sweetie, and then later Raymond and Raylan. But beyond that, I mean, this is a dumpster fire episode. And it's funny too, because I did some research on it today at work, and I've read like 2 or 3 other reviews from like movie magazines and TV magazines, and they all like gave the standard across the board was B+. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know where they're getting that from.
I definitely would agree that out of the 6 we watch, or sorry, the 5 we watch together, this by far is the worst, not hands down.
Yeah, it's not even close. It's so bad. And again, like I said, for anybody that's been on the fence at this point, I honestly don't. I wouldn't fault them for pulling the plug.
Yeah. So I mean, like you said, I still want to keep going, and I'm just well, I mean, it's overall, besides one bad episode, I'm still liking that Justified came back, but like you're saying, a lot of people nowadays, the problem is a lot of people have short attention spans, or just they don't care anymore. And I've seen people bail out on fucking TV shows after one bad episode, and a show could have like 20 episodes, and like you can't let one. And we got more to go, guys. But yeah.
I understand. I was watching another limited series on Hulu called Cruel Summer. It's kind of an anthology series. It's in season 2, and by the time the last couple episodes came out, I was just like, what is going on here? This is getting ridiculous. But I had to finish it because I had already watched the previous 5 or 6. I really hope this does not end up as disappointing. I hope maybe this just has this one stinker episode, and everything else it picks up after this. You got any predictions for next week?
Oh geez, after this, dude, I'm fucking scared because the premise what Yumi the past month been coming up to is that okay, once his daughter's gone, we're gonna get to see the old Raylan and like Raylan Unleashed, and we're not after this episode just to fucking destroy my hopes, man. Like I don't, like you said, I still fuck have predictions that I can't see Carolyn living. I just don't see that.
No,
happening,
I say next episode either she dies or the partner dies.
Yeah.
And again, I know some people listening to us that are be like, well, fuck Toxic, you read the books. Okay, well, this is diverged from the book, so there's no way I would actually know. I honestly don't know what is going to happen. So
and definitely Mansell and Sweetie, at some point they're both going to die. I mean, maybe not Sweetie, but I mean, I think Sweetie at some point, I think Mansell's going to kill fucking either Sweetie or his girlfriend.
So, yeah, I can't picture her living through this, but maybe she does. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's all we know for certain is what we're hoping Caroline dies.
Saw some good Detroit landmarks, stuff like that. I'm not mad at it. It was kind of cool. It doesn't have the same kind of urban outlook that Mayor of Kingstown did. Yeah. Another great series set in Michigan.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that quite that, but I bet you if there's people who are from Detroit, I bet you they recognize a lot of these landmarks. I can just tell just by looking at it. You know, I'd love for them to one day do a show in Kansas City, and I could just point. I'd be like, you know, do the whole Leonardo DiCaprio, whoop, 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 right
Well,
there. Look at that.
it's one thing being fair. Then this is why I've tried following the drinker, and you do as well. That listen, me and Wes may love something, but if I think it's shit, I'll agree it's shit. If I think it's good, I think it's good. And I'm with you, dude. Like you're not going to see me ever defending this episode to anybody. So,
what 1 out of 10? What are you giving this episode?
oh, Jesus Christ, dude, fuck, that's a. I mean, I give it a 2 only because he said a couple good scenes with his partner and Raylan and some decent dialogue. But no, it's I
Yeah.
would if I had to pick one episode to never watch again because like nothing goes on. I'm good.
Yeah, nothing happens in this episode like at all.
Yeah.
Except for the 2 scenes I mentioned, Raylan and Raymond, and then Sweetie and Mansell. I give it a low 3, just for those scenes, and because David Cross could do no wrong in my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll give it a 3 just based on that. But I mean, that's a hard 1-3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I say, guys, we'll be fair. We're gonna keep going, but hey, I mean, if every episode, I don't want them to be shit, but if they're shit, I'll say they're shit. I mean, that's what.
Yeah,
all I can do.
this is the shit episode. This is gonna show who, you know. I can't help but feel like there's a reason why this one was placed so high in the chronology. You know, this one because it's an 8 episode limited series. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we just watched number 5, so there's 3 episodes to go. So if they were going to throw a stinker in, it would probably be this one, yeah?
Yeah, I'd go with that. So, like you said, I honestly, dude, I think we try being generous. I don't want to make a 5-minute video, so I think we tried dragging this out to a half hour just to make something to talk about.
Yeah. City Primeval, you guys are lucky we even gave you this much attention.
I 100% agree, dude. Like I tried being generous. We could have. I was trying to get some fluff in for you and me to something. I don't want to make a fucking 10-minute video.
Yeah. This was a dog shit episode. It wasn't worth our time.
Yeah.
Do better, Hulu.
Yeah, but
better.
We'll be here next week, and let's hope next week doesn't suck. But yeah, RT, when you see this, dude, you texted me. I agree with you, bro. I'm not gonna fight you.
Yeah. Hey there. Yeah, New Zealand. I'm definitely not against you in this one. This was a piece of dog shit left out in the rain for sure.
It's 32 minutes more than this fuck episode deserves. Let's get the fuck out of here.
All right. Stay toxic, everybody.
Bye.